Honestly, I think in a sense, I think it's okay, because the reason I say that is because I think it allows you to focus on something. It allows you to weed out all of the things of having, like, just playing games and just sitting around. Like, it allows you to actually become great at something. Like, different example, like different successful families such as like Joe Jackson and his family and like the Wayne brothers, like it allows you to really focus on something and go after something. So I don't, in a sense, it like there's different ways to go about it, but everybody has their own way, and I think it's a healthy way.
Our father and I, their dad and I, we kind of planted different seeds, you know, and I want to make sure, I want to give a correction. There were a couple of multi-level marketing companies that I was in, that I was one of the top 20 or top 50 in that particular company, because network marketing is a very big, vast industry. So I want to make sure that there's a correction on that. So it's a couple of companies that I was a top person in. But our thing was planting that seed in reference to Marcus and Alex public speaking. You know, they were in botillion. So, you know, things like that. You know, girls have cotillions. But they were in botillions. So how to speak to people, speak clear and concise.
Facts.
No, I do not wear.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, because, and I think there is a lack of, don't take it the wrong way, you guys have gotten so lackadaisy, and I'm like, say your words clearly, you know,
and with confidence.
You know,
that's where the Comes in. It's a filler.
Exactly.
I even noticed a lot of us our age. My bad. I noticed that a lot of us our age, we all tend to say things like, and just different filler words that's unnecessary, you know, throughout a conversation.
Or be.
Yeah.
I be doing
so that's
that.
important.
I gotta stop.
and
it's a culture thing in certain cities too.
And the other thing is, I didn't shake anybody's hand when I walked in today.
Right, so I don't, the sense of fear when people have public speaking, I can't relate.
That's really good, and that's something I've actually been thinking about recently, is how leaving a legacy doesn't have to just mean financial. Like it could mean like how you carry yourself, you know, your name, like your character. Like I'm starting to realize like it's way bigger than just
100%.
finances.
For me, it was more of with business now. Like their dad, he had his business. He was the photographer. He had his photography business. And we had, you know, and I had my business. But being able, as they've gotten older, it has definitely been a transitional part for me, because it's not do what I say, take it on over to him, because we do believe in family therapy. We do believe in having, we have our weekly meetings, and in a year's time, we may miss maybe 4 or 5 weekly meetings, but we have a standing weekly meeting that we have every single Saturday at 10 and 11, so we can say how we feel. So we won't carry it over and in having resentment as we're working our business, and to say, hey, you know, I'm an adult too. My opinion matters. So we do business and then we do family. So we can say what we need to say, and then we can move forward, and then we don't have any anxiety or resentment and things like that.
That's
so
good.
Marcus, what do you say?
100%. I mean, you touched on a lot of key points.
One thing I wanted to talk about was, I see how you raised them. It's incredible. Like, I feel like that's not something that I see often.
You know, don't get me wrong, I love my hairstylist, but there are other skill sets that you can do, you know. And for a lot of people, like, oh, I'm going to be an influencer, I'm going to be a podcast. It takes time for that to grow.
Oh, we know.
And make money. It's not going to be overnight. So you need something that you're going to have an opportunity to fall back on, that's going to always generate you some money until you have grown that particular business. At the end of the day, you have to figure out who you want to be. What kind of person, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? And if you have an issue with figuring out who you are, maybe you need to find out who your ancestors are. Hey, everything that you do is based on a sale. You are selling your podcast. We need y'all to come and watch our podcast. That's a sale. No matter what you say or what you may think, you're selling yourself. But if you can't do that, then whether it's electrical, whether it's heating and air, whether it is, you know, becoming a hairstylist, you know, whether you're in construction, whether you're a person that, you know, back in the day, it used to be seamstress, or you're doing accounting. Those are skill sets that will always be here. And the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because that takes care of your bills, and then your idea takes care of your wealth. What the trust is imperative to protect you. The trust is not going to alleviate all taxes. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. Everything, oh, you get a trust, you ain't paying no taxes. No.
There's taxes in a trust.
Right, it's taxes within a trust, but there are some certain things that you're able to protect yourself with. And let me just add last thing. And then if you have any entities, business entities, whether it's a corporation or LLC, those fall up under
the business trust. Yeah,
it's going up. Okay, so that's why I was saying everything flows up and then it flows right back down to the beneficiaries. So that's how you would. That's why we're the Fampreneurs.
Okay, cool.
Really
Come on,
This
Fampreneurs.
is like an incredible episode.
Yeah.
this is why we're here.
So you asked where we are.
And I feel like now I feel more just excited about working with my dad and even seeing
That's great.
how I could bring in other family members, because I have a cousin who's had like a very successful charity organization. She no longer does it now, but I know that's still a passion of hers. So even seeing, okay, well, from her skills of knowing how to build a charity organization and it running for a while and
That
things
could be
like
in the
that.
ministry trust.
Yeah, like what skills could I bring into, my brand? And so, yeah, the wheels are turning. So
Here's a great way you can do it.
Family's asset.